What if I told you that nature isn't just a gentle force? It can be a ruthless executioner. One moment the world is peaceful, and the next the sky turns black, the earth cracks open, or a wave the size of a skyscraper comes roaring in. These are the deadliest, most unpredictable moments when nature unleashed pure destruction, and number one will leave you terrified. Stay till the end because what happened in our final entry is so shocking that even scientists still can't explain it. Number 10. The 2004 Indian Ocean Tsunami. The ocean's deadliest secret. Imagine standing on a beautiful tropical beach. The sun is shining, children are playing, and everything seems peaceful. Then, the ocean starts acting strange. The water pulls back unnaturally, exposing the seafloor, fish flopping helplessly in the sand. People walk forward, curious, unaware that they are staring at a death sentence. Moments later, a 100-foot monster wave rises on the horizon. It moves at 500 miles per hour, as fast as a jet plane, and in seconds it swallows entire towns whole. Buildings disappear like sandcastles, people are swept away, and the coastline vanishes under a wall of destruction. This was the 2004 Indian Ocean Tsunami, one of the deadliest natural disasters in human history. It killed over 230,000 people across 14 countries in just a few minutes. Entire families were erased. Thousands of bodies were never found. And the scariest part? This wasn't a one-time event. Scientists say that another tsunami of this scale could strike again at any moment. Could your city be next? Number 9. Mount Tambora, eruption. The volcano that stole the sun. What if I told you that one volcanic eruption was so powerful that it stole summer from the entire planet? In 1815, Indonesia's Mount Tambora exploded with the force of 33,000 nuclear bombs, the most violent eruption in recorded history. The blast was so loud it was heard 1,600 miles away, the equivalent of an explosion in New York being heard in Texas. But the real horror began after the eruption. An ash cloud covered the earth, blocking the sun for months. Temperatures plummeted worldwide, crops failed, livestock died en masse. Millions of people starved. This event became known as the year without a summer, a time when snow fell in June, rivers froze in July, and the world was trapped in a volcanic winter. And here's the terrifying part. There are more supervolcanoes lurking beneath our feet, capable of doing the exact same thing, or worse. Scientists say one of them is overdue for an eruption. Could we be on the brink of another year without summer? Number 8. The 1931 China floods. When water became a mass killer, floods are bad. But what if one single flood killed more people than World War I? In 1931, a series of catastrophic floods merged together, creating a super disaster that drowned entire cities. Over 4 million people died, some from the floodwaters, others from the deadly famine and disease that followed. It was the deadliest flood in human history. Imagine looking outside your window and seeing nothing but an endless ocean where a city used to be. Trains vanished underwater, buildings floated like paper, and bodies piled up in the streets. Survivors were so desperate that they resorted to unimaginable things just to stay alive. And here's the part that should make us all nervous. Extreme floods are becoming more frequent. Climate change is creating bigger storms, rising sea levels, and more unpredictable floods. Could we be heading toward another disaster of this scale? Number 7. The deadly lake that killed thousands overnight. A lake should be peaceful, right? But what if I told you that one lake in Africa has the power to kill everything around it in seconds, without warning? This isn't science fiction. It's Lake Nyos in Cameroon, and in 1986, it did something that left scientists shocked and horrified. One night, with no explosion, no storm, no warning at all, the lake suddenly released a cloud of carbon dioxide gas. The result? 1,746 people died instantly. Thousands of animals dropped dead where they stood. Survivors said they heard a deep, terrifying rumble before losing consciousness. By morning, entire villages had been silenced forever. And here's the truly chilling part. There are more lakes like this, capable of doing the exact same thing at any moment. If one of them were to erupt today, could we see another invisible mass death? If you thought the first 5 disasters were terrifying, you haven't seen anything yet. The next 5 events are so catastrophic, so unbelievably destructive, that they make Hollywood disaster movies look tame. And trust me, number 1 is so horrifying that scientists still don't fully understand it. Number 5, the Dust Bowl. When America became a barren wasteland. Imagine waking up one day and the sky is gone. The air is thick with dust, so dense that daylight disappears. Crops shrivel into nothing, animals drop dead, and people choke in their own homes. This isn't a scene from a science fiction movie. It's what happened in the 1930s during the Dust Bowl, one of the worst environmental disasters in American history. For nearly a decade, massive dust storms consumed the Great Plains, turning once fertile land into a lifeless desert. The largest storm, Black Sunday, was so huge that it swallowed entire cities in minutes. People called it the end of the world. Millions were forced to flee their homes, turning them into climate refugees long before that term existed. And here's the chilling part. Scientists warn that modern climate change could trigger another dust bowl, only this time it could be even worse. Could this nightmare return? We might not be as safe as we think. Number 4, the night of the bolts. When lightning became a mass murderer. One lightning strike is terrifying, but what if thousands of bolts attacked at once? In 1975, a bizarre and terrifying event unfolded in South Africa. A single mega lightning storm unleashed over 100,000 lightning bolts in just a few hours. The result: thousands of animals dropped dead, entire villages caught fire, and people were electrocuted in their homes. But that's not even the worst part. Lightning is getting stronger. Scientists have recorded superbolts, lightning strikes 1,000 times more powerful than a regular bolt, enough to vaporize anything they hit. And recent studies suggest that with climate change, these storms are becoming more frequent. Could we be heading toward a world where storms are no longer just dangerous, but apocalyptic? Number 3, the day the sky exploded. The Tunguska event. What if I told you that one morning, the sky over Russia exploded with the power of 1,000 Hiroshima bombs? That's exactly what happened in 1908, when something, possibly an asteroid or comet, detonated over Tunguska, Siberia. The explosion was so powerful that it flattened 800 square miles of forest, instantly wiping out 80 million trees. If it had hit a major city, millions would have died in seconds. And here's the terrifying part. There are countless other space objects that could do the same, or worse. Some scientists say we might not even see them coming until it's too late. What if the next Tunguska event happens over New York, London, or Tokyo? Number 2, the super tsunami that almost wiped out civilization. We've all heard of tsunamis, but did you know that one single wave once nearly wiped out humanity itself? 73,000 years ago, a massive volcanic eruption triggered a super tsunami over 800 feet high, taller than the Statue of Liberty. The wave was so immense that it swept across entire continents, drowning coastlines thousands of miles away. Some scientists believe that this event almost caused human extinction, reducing our ancient ancestors to just a few thousand survivors. But here's the part that should keep us all awake at night. Scientists have found evidence that another super tsunami could be building right now. A massive volcanic island off the coast of Africa, La Palma, has a fault line so unstable that if it collapses, it could create a wave the size of a skyscraper, one that would reach the US East Coast in hours. If that happens, millions would have no time to escape. Number 1, the mystery explosion that scientists still can't explain. Some disasters have an explanation. Others are terrifying mysteries. In 2013, something exploded in Russia's Chelyabinsk region with a force 30 times stronger than the Hiroshima bomb. It shattered windows 50 miles away, injured over 1,500 people, and lit up the sky like a second sun. But here's the disturbing part. Scientists never saw it coming. This wasn't a missile or a bomb. It was a mystery space object that no one detected. Even worse? There are thousands of similar objects floating in space right now, many of them big enough to destroy an entire city. And the next one, it could hit tomorrow. Are we ready for another unseen disaster? Or will the next impact be the one that changes the course of human history forever? Now tell me, which of these disasters shocked you the most? Did any of them change the way you see the world? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more jaw-dropping top 10 lists like this, hit that subscribe button right now. Because trust me, the next list will be even crazier.